Meditation can be powerful. There's really three types that I think everybody should know about. And in this episode, Aaron Markosky, one of our super geniuses, breaks it down for you. Enjoy it. Welcome to Digital Genius Radio, the #1 podcast focused on guiding you to becoming a certified digital genius. We believe you can have it all by mastering social media paid advertising. We spent the last 3 years studying the most brilliant marketers today and applying their techniques. We've broken free of the 9-to-5 and successfully built a 7-figure online certification platform. From working with hundreds of clients, we found that most are overwhelmed or scared to actually dive into paid advertising. And this podcast is here to give you the cheat codes so you can flourish with your social media channels. Join us and follow along as we continue to learn, apply, and share proven strategies, as well as give you the insights on how to win online with social media paid advertising. And now, here's your hosts, Chris Baden and Sean Malone. She's known as a unicorn, right? Horns up, bow down to this young lady because she's been one of our super affiliates for a long time. And Erin Markowski's in the house. She's in Hawaii right now, about to go to Mexico tomorrow. But Erin's going to come out and talk a little bit about meddling with meditation. And I think that's a powerful topic for everybody that doesn't meditate. So Erin, love having you here. How you doing, girl? Take it away.
What's up, guys? I'm happy to be here. In Hawaii, going to Mexico tomorrow. Super, super excited. And I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about meditation really quick. I want to say that Jenna just killed it. It's like, I can't believe it's your first time on Train or Die either. Like, my first time on Train or Die, I think I stumbled over my words a million times and messed up. I was so nervous. You just killed it. I want to talk about meditation because actually through being here, I've learned that there's actually about 3 different common types of meditation that at least I've heard there could be more, but I wanted to go over each one of them because I'm realizing now that what I had planned to kind of preach to you guys was kind of how I meditate and just, I guess, the mindset behind it and stuff like that. And I'm realizing that that just doesn't work for everybody. So I think it's really important to not just meditate one time with, whatever app someone told you to do, whatever YouTube clip someone told you to listen to, or whatever technique someone told you to use. And then all of a sudden it didn't work for you, or you were just, chatting in your head a bunch and you didn't actually get into a meditation. You're just oh, it just doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? I want to kind of break that down because I feel like that's an experience that a lot of people have. I feel like a lot of people try to meditate and they just haven't pushed and tested all, I guess, the different ways to see what works best for them. So it's really about kind of figuring out what kind of person that you are and then catering your meditation. We're going to get into a little bit of visualization as well, catering it to you and kind of how you operate. So I am going to list off the 3 that I have noticed. I would love to hear if anybody has any insight or any other themes of meditation that you guys have noticed as well. But the 3 that I've noticed, come up really commonly is silent meditation, where you don't have any guided meditation, anybody talking to you. There's no dongs going off or any bells or anything ringing. It's nothing. It's just you and wherever you are, you know what I mean? You could be in your bed, you could be sitting on your floor, you could be wherever, and it's just you. There's guided meditation, obviously, if you have Headspace, or there's a million other apps out there. If you go on YouTube and do guided meditations, there's that as well. And then there's the visualization meditation, where you kind of have a intention to your meditation almost, and you're almost using affirmations and visualizations to manifest something essentially. So if I sound like some hippy dippy crackhead right now, I promise I'm going to bring it all full circle. But I wanted to go over the first one, which is silent meditation, mainly because that's what I do. That's how I operate the best. That's how I get into the deepest meditation. And I want to go over a couple different tips with it because there's things that I've noticed. So at least for me personally, when I first started the business, I had to start with the guided meditation because I had no idea what I was doing. So hearing somebody else kind of talk to me and just be okay, do this now, or do this now, or you know what I mean? Just walking me through the process, it helped a lot. For me personally, I recommend Headspace a ton because that's what I used whenever I was first getting into meditation. But I don't resonate with it anymore just because I am so much more of a silent meditation type person. If someone is trying to get me to visualize, if anybody listens to Headspace, it kind of talks about filling your body with light and imagining you have this white light above your head or something like that. And it's all this thinking almost. And I don't want to think whenever I meditate. So some people need that guidance. They need to almost see something or follow some kind of, just, I guess, rules and steps to take and stuff like that. And I was at that point and I no longer program there. So if you're finding yourself getting distracted by guided meditations, by people telling you like, do this now and like breathe this way now and imagine this now, like if you find yourself almost like getting off track and thinking about other stuff, then maybe that's not for you. You know what I mean? That was a clear sign for me that guided meditation, I'd kind of grown out of that. So I want you to kind of know, and I know this is all over the place right now, so I hope you guys are taking notes, but I kind of want to just grab different pieces from each one and just give tips on each one so you can kind of almost diagnose where you're at with it and then decide what the best route for you is right now. So with guided meditation, you can do YouTube, you can do Headspace, like I said, and I think it's really good for beginners, but just pay attention to what I was talking about earlier. If you do see your head kind of like going off all over the place, like maybe it needs to be different. So like when I realized that Headspace just wasn't clicking for me anymore, what I started doing was I was going to yoga classes that have meditation at the end of them. And I know I was just with Raquel in Sydney. I know she's on here. So shout out to Raquel, but she told me that she only goes to yoga classes that have meditation at the end of them. And it was because you kind of already are in that flow state. You know what I mean? Like you've already gone through like 45 minutes, like an hour, and you're in the same room as people with the same energy. Like it's just a different vibe than like just, you know, maybe getting out of bed, like eating some breakfast or something and like plopping down. Like it's almost like random parts of your day if you're doing that. So like setting yourself up almost for meditation and kind of like maybe doing a little bit of yoga. You don't even have to go to a class. You could do something on YouTube. If you're not into yoga, then ignore this. But like if you're into yoga or open to yoga, then like it might be good to even do 5-10 minutes of just some stretches, like even just stretch. You don't even have to do full-blown yoga, but like just getting your body moving and kind of like easing into the state of mind that you need to be in to be able to meditate with a clear mind, I think is really beneficial. So for me, we even did a yoga class here. Like Jess is a yoga instructor and she walked us through a yoga class and she had us in a meditation, and I finally was like just clear-minded and it was awesome. And that's what I need. I just need like a little bit of talking and then nothing, so I can just like be like just silent. I need like silence in my brain, because any other time that I'm like not meditating, it's just like blah, 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 like there's ideas, there's like things I gotta do, there's people I gotta talk to. It's like nonstop. So it's so important and so good to stop every once in a while, especially as business owners, and coming, you know, speaking from a place of knowing what it's like as you progress as a business owner and as you progress in your business, it just gets more and more crowded up here. Like there's just more and more things going on in your brain. There's more and more things. Oh, I forgot to say this to this person. I forgot to do this today. And meditation like is almost necessary to keep your sanity. So that's why it's important. But if you're going to do silent meditation, again, I think it's really good to also, you know, stretch and kind of like coax yourself into that mindset. I feel like that's good for any type of meditation. It doesn't even have to be a specific type of meditation. Like any meditation in general kind of, you know, I feel like almost requires that like pre-meditation, like, I don't know, just getting yourself into it. Obviously, I've said that like a million times. So the last one that I'm going to talk about is going to be the visualization meditation. And I think this is good to like do additional to, so you don't have to be like, oh, like I only do silent meditations and I don't do anything else. Like I feel like if you're like a silent or a guided person, I feel like that's almost a one or another type thing. But visualization, I feel like is almost like separate. You know what I mean? It's like silent and guided. You could pick one or the other, but visualization is like its own thing. And I think it could be used really well no matter what kind of person you are over here. Like visualization, I think is important no matter what. So if you meditate multiple times a day, you know what I mean? Like maybe for me, whenever I'm on my grind and I'm really doing it and I'm like, I don't know, I'm like on top of everything, I meditate generally like 2 to 3 times a day. So I'll meditate whenever I get up in the morning. Whenever I feel myself starting to like lose steam and like lose gas throughout the day, I'll just stop everything I'm doing and I'll just sit down and meditate again. Like that's where I need to stop and pause and kind of like clear my brain out so I can come back to it with a clear head. And then at the end of the day, to wind down, because I've noticed, like, especially we all know with blue light, like you can't just be on your phone and your laptop and then just jump into bed and lay down. Like your brain is still just like going so like a million miles an hour. So like you need to wind that down in some way, shape, or form. What I like to do is I like to do visualization in the morning and then at night do the silent one so that it kind of brings me down into more of like a sleep mode, I guess, so that I can actually just sleep like better. My mind is clear. But visualization in the morning, I think, is really good because you have a fresh brain. Like, you're kind of almost, you can visualize the day. I know Brendon Burchard talks a lot about visualizing the things that he wants to get done that day. So he'll pick 3 things that he wants to accomplish that day. And then he sits down for like 20 minutes and visualizes them getting done. So he already sees those things happening and getting done. And then it makes it that much easier to actually achieve it because he's already kind of experienced it, which is what we use for visualization in the first place. So like, if you have a goal, what I used to do, I wrote this on my whiteboard, but what I used to do is I would sit in front of my whiteboard and I would like just close my eyes. I would start meditating and I would start repeating affirmations in my head. And I'd be like, I am 1A, I am 2A, I am 3A, I am 4A, I am 5A, I am 6A. And I would just go down the line, and I continued to do that. I would say I am 1A, even though I was obviously already 1A. It wasn't an affirmation that like didn't exist yet. It was like, I am 1A. That's a truth that I'm telling to myself. And then I would say I am 2A and be like, okay, I'm not 2A yet, but like, I'm carrying over that truthful, you know what I mean? That truthful mindset behind the affirmation and bringing it into I am 2A, I am 3A, I am 4A. And then I hit 2A, and then I hit 3A, and then I hit 4A, and 5A, and 6A. And I continued saying those same affirmations because it was like, I said this at a point in time where it was just an affirmation. Bless you, Chris. But I was saying it at a point in time where it was just an affirmation. Like, it was just an affirmation that I was trying to attract into my life, but now it's real. And like, this is me now experiencing something that was at one point in time not true, but I was affirming it into my life. I knew that it was going to happen. I knew I was going to experience it. I just hadn't experienced it yet. And I think that's super important. A lot of people will like be like, okay, I am 2A, I am 2A. Cool, got it. I just hit 2A. All right, I am 3A, I am 3A, I am 3A. And like, you can't forget where you came from, because then you're always shooting for the next thing. You're always like, no, I need more, instead of being like, I'm 2A. Like, I'm 2A, I did it, like, I accomplished it. And I think it's really, really important to do that. So obviously I'm just using ranks as an example. I can't even talk. But it's really important to figure out, what's important to you. Like, for me, I had a lot of trouble with consistency. I had a lot of trouble with, I guess, just confidence, not affirmations, we're talking about affirmations. But I think confidence and consistency, I would say, were like my main two that I would always affirm to myself, because I started this business so introverted, so not on a schedule. Like, it was like rough. So I would always say, like, I'm confident, I'm extroverted. Like, I, love getting on camera. I love taking videos, even though I did not love that at the time. Like, I would just affirm things that I wanted to feel, but I didn't yet. And I really just wanted to kind of almost step into that persona and step into the person that felt those things. I'm actually going through my Funnel Hacking Live notes right now and organizing them all. But that was actually something that I just read this morning, was not doing, hold on, actually, I want to pull it out and then I'll be done and stop talking all your ear off. But I think it's really important. But it was assuming the identity. So almost making an identity shift. And I think affirmations and visualizations help us assume that identity shift. So what it says and what I wrote down is, you don't do the tasks to become the person. You become the person and assume the identity so that you do the tasks that that person would do. And I knew that the identity that I had to assume was 4A, 5A, 6A, 6A2, you know what I mean? I had to become that person so I could lead, so I could help people, so I could transform people's lives. I knew that I had to love getting on camera, because then I could share my message with more people. I could give emotion behind it. I knew I had to become extroverted and confident so that I could lead by example. I knew that I had to do all of these things so that I could become the person that could change other people's lives. And that was what I had to do. You know what I mean? That was important to me. And that is what I did through visualization. You know what I mean? That is what I did through meditation. And I think it's really, really, really important to almost, assume that identity. It's not imposter syndrome. It's not pretending to be someone you're not. It's transforming to the better version of yourself, transforming and going up the ladder to better versions of yourself. And I believe that you really can get there through meditation, through visualization. And that's all I got. I'm going to stop talking all your ear off. So thanks for me out, guys.
Thanks for listening to Digital Genius Radio. We'd love it if you could share our podcast with 3 others that you think could get some value from it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And remember, hit that notifications button so we can alert you for each new episode that comes out. You're on your way. You've gained knowledge and you've gotten smarter. You're becoming a certified digital genius. To continue on the right path, go to challenge.digitalgeniusradio.com and prove you have what it takes. Again, that's challenge.digitalgeniusradio.com. Enter your name and email and get started becoming a master of your own destiny.